Immigration Minister Ahmed Hussein once said whether the government will keep a warning against female genital mutilation in a revamped study guide for the Canadian citizenship exam. During a House of Commons committee meeting Thursday, Conservative immigration critic Michelle Rempel grilled Mr. Hussein on a Canadian press report earlier this year that said the reference to female genital mutilation, FGM, had been removed from a leaked draft of the new citizenship guide. The document, known as the Discover Canada Guide, is currently being rewritten by the government. Globe editorial: Ottawa should stop politicizing the citizenship guide. Story continues below advertisement. The Liberal government has made gender issues a prominent part of its foreign policy, launching what it called Canada's first feminist international assistance policy earlier this year. The Conservatives want the government to make it clear in the citizenship guide that FGM is illegal in Canada, so that female newcomers from countries where it is allowed understand their rights. Mr. Hussein declined to comment on the draft guide or say whether the government will include references to FGM in the new version. There hasn't been any removal of anything. There is no citizenship guide that has been written, so your assertion that we removed something from something that hasn't been completed is completely false, Mr. Hussein said in a fiery exchange with Ms. Rempel. I commit to continue to consult Canadians on the citizenship guide. In 2011, the then Conservative government inserted a warning against barbaric cultural practices, such as FGM, honor killings, forced marriage and spousal abuse. Former Liberal Immigration Minister John McCallum Mr. Hussein's predecessor was in favor of removing this section from the document. A draft version of the guide obtained by the Canadian press in July showed that the Conservative section on barbaric cultural practices had been removed. Ms. Rempel asked Mr. Hussein which stakeholders wanted the government to remove the reference to FGM. No one has, Mr. Hussein said. Story continues below advertisement. Story continues below advertisement. The minister's response left Ms. Rempel baffled. In the minister's own words, nobody is asking for this change. So I don't understand why they wouldn't just say okay to the guide's FGM reference, Ms. Rempel said after the committee meeting. When Ms. Rempel tried to ask Mr. Hussein for his opinion on FGM, her question was ruled out of order by committee chair Robert Oliphant, who said the minister's personal views were irrelevant. Speaking to the Globe and Mail after the committee meeting, Mr. Hussein made his views clear. Of course I'm against FGM. It's a criminal offense. I'm a lawyer, I'm an officer of the court, Mr. Hussein said my personal opinion on this is irrelevant. The United Nations Entity for Gender Equality and the Empowerment of Women says FGM has been perpetuated against at least 200 million women and girls worldwide. The UN says 98% of women and girls in Somalia aged 15 to 49 have undergone FGM, followed by Guinea at 97% and Djibouti at 93%. Story continues below advertisement.